Hello everybody, my name is Sniping is Fun, and I welcome you all back to the next Smash discussion topic. I'm going to be presenting all of you and answering myself and asking you your opinions on said topic slash question slash whatever. I've done 2 of these so far. Like, what third parties do we have left for, inclusion in the Smash Bros. Series? And basically, are there too many Fire Emblem characters? This is going to be the next topic in that series. And taking like I said in the last 2, and I recorded them a couple days ago, I'm taking a small hiatus from my Smash Newcomer series. It's coming back very, very shortly, either by the end of this week, if not next week. I was hoping to bring it back early this week, but I want to kind of get my Smash discussion topics out here right now and get a good chunk of them right now. So I'm recording a couple of them, on my days off to kind of present to you some Smash discussions. But I have been behind the scenes working on getting more characters, rearranging my list and whatnot after, the recent Smash Direct and, especially back at E3 and everything, and making changes to my, what characters I want to talk about, and moveset ideas and reasons and percentages and so on and so forth. So that is going to continue. I'm currently doing the next one, which would be character 68, which I already said was Matthew from Goenson, and do Lloyd Irving and Lilac from Freedom Planet, and numerous characters coming on forward. So if you've been looking forward to and enjoying my Smash Newcomer series of videos, they are coming back very, very, very shortly. I'm working on them right now. I just want to kind of get some other videos out there, Smash or otherwise, right now, and then eventually I'll get into those newcomer videos and other videos that may not have to do with Smash Brothers and so on and so forth. So just to let you all know where those have been, because it's been like 2 weeks and I haven't uploaded one yet. So I'm sorry, but they are coming. I want to get to at least 100, and I have numerous third-party characters, Nintendo characters, indie game characters, retro characters I want to still talk about. But let's get back to the Smash topic. I've already done 2 of them so far. This could be the 3rd one, and I kind of wanted to talk this time is my question I want to answer myself, and I want you guys to gauge and think about it in the comments section. What is the mystery mode that we know about? Because in the recent Smash Direct back on the 8th, Sakurai showed, there's this mode that we're not talking about yet, and people have speculated and thought about it and so on and so forth, and it's like, people have come up with ideas for what it might be, but like, what really is it? Like, there's the standard option people are going for, and this is actually the option, it's the most basic choice. It's not the most out there choice, but the most basic choice is it's a new story mode. It's like going to be like a subspace or emissary or an adventure mode type of thing. And it's going to be some big main single player mode that, quite frankly, Smash Brothers 4 didn't have. Smash Brothers 4 on Wii U and on the 3DS had like the basic classic mode and stuff like that, All Stars and whatnot, but it really didn't have like the meat and potatoes like Brawl had. Brawl had a very major single player mode. Even Melee had a fairly big single player mode with adventure mode. People are speculating it might be a new adventure mode like Melee, where it's like you go through the basic couple of stages, maybe face a couple of bosses, and it's like classic mode, but more challenges to it, more like stage based stuff rather than just battle, boss battle. Also, other people are assuming it's going to be somewhat like Subspace Emissary, which is going to be a big cinematic story where we see all the characters in cutscenes. I'm hoping this time, if they do it, they're all interacting with each other. We have voice acting. It's like this is the big crossover for Nintendo, for their own characters and for third-party characters. I would like to actually see these characters interact with each other, voice acting wise especially, so we can get a big story with them, because this is the one time when the Smash Bros. Game is released that we see these characters actually, crossing over and interacting with each other, because it's a big crossover game. Smash is like one of the biggest crossover video game series of all time, and like in their own series, Fire Emblem, Legend of Zelda, Mario, Xenoblade, Pokemon, you never really see these other characters cross over. You're not going to see a Mario game where Link comes in and cuts off Bowser's head or something. It's cool to see these characters interact, because this is the one time we get to see these characters interact, and I would love for it to be a story mode. That's the reason why I want to see it the most. And I love Subspace Emissary for the most part. It had its own problems, especially that maze at the end. The Great Maze, whatever, that was the most annoying part of it. And there were certain little things, there issues here and there, and that wasn't the lack of voice acting, although I really wish they would have had these characters talk. I know some characters don't talk, like we're not going to really hear Mario talk or Link talk, but Zelda talks, the Fire Emblem characters talk, Shulk talks, the Pokemon trainer character and Pokemon can technically talk, Captain Falcon, the third parties, Ryu talks, Cloud talks, the Belmonts talk. We have all these characters that talk, and it'd be cool to see them actually interact with each other. So the basic choice that everyone is, going for is it might be like an adventure mode or a subspace emissary mode or some big story mode, or maybe they'll cross it over. Some people have also speculated it might actually be like a subspace emissary, but in a smaller part, where maybe certain characters have their own stories. You play as Luigi, and he has a short story that takes maybe an hour or two to play, and then every character has their own small short story. So it's like adventure mode, but in a subspace emissary setting where they all have cutscenes and these characters interact. And that'd be cool too. I've seen people mention that idea, and that actually sounds kind of unique because you're taking the main adventure mode of Melee with subspace emissary Brawl, mixing them together and coming up with a hodgepodge that actually kind of stands out. And it would be really interesting to see a mode like that where every character has their own story mode, because now we know every character has their own classic mode. Classic mode is not like random really, or a mode that's basically the same for every character. If you play as Shulk, you're going to get a different one when you play as Marth or Ness or Captain Falcon or Mario or Dark Pit or Lucina or Ike, or Pikachu or Pac-Man or Mega Man or Simon Belmont or the Inklings. Like every character has their own unique classic mode now. So what if they have their own unique little adventure subspace emissary mode too, with some cutscenes exclusively to them, story mode levels to go through, and enemies to fight and boss battles exclusive to them? That'd be kind of cool. I would rather see it be a big major story mode where you see all the characters interacting with each other as a whole. But if we cannot get that, the idea of a smaller story mode for every individual character would probably be the next best thing, and I'm okay with that. So yeah, that's the basic mode everyone thinks of it, and that's the mode I want to see the most. I want to see the mode that's that. But it could be anything else. See, that's the thing. Like, we might not have a major big story mode. Classic mode might be the only thing, and that mode might be a multiplayer mode. Maybe that's something to do with some sort of big multiplayer mode type of thing or whatever. Although I really don't think so, because we already kind of got the big multiplayer stuff they do in the tournament. There's still going to be online play, local play, all this stuff. Smash in general is a major multiplayer game. So I think this mode is going to be something that's very single player-esque. It's going to be something that you can play by yourself, and maybe they'll just, like Subspace Emissary, allow you to co-op with someone. Maybe you build up your team of people, like in Subspace Emissary, and I want to play as Snake, and my friend will play as Pac-Man or Mega Man. I might play as Simon Belmont, and they might want to play as Shulk. I'll play as Mario, and they'll play as Link. You can switch and pick what characters you want to play as, and maybe make it cinematic to the point where it is like Subspace Emissary, but still multiplayer based. Or maybe that could work in the short story thing, like idea I just mentioned a little while ago. Like maybe make them short stories, but you can play as like a certain extra character with the character. Like Luigi's secondary character might be Mario or something. I don't know. It's like, I still think it's gonna be a mode that allows multiplayer things to be in. Like, it allows you to play in multiplayer, but it's more likely and should be something that's super single player based, because Smash as a whole, like I said, is basically a multiplayer game. It is a party fighting game. It is, I fight, I pick my character, smash people, 8 characters, 6 characters, 2 characters, one-on-one, team, brawl, special mode, sudden death, all these different things. It's big multiplayer action. It's a multiplayer game pretty much first and foremost. And the single player content sometimes takes a back seat to that, classic mode included and whatnot. And I really think that's what was hurting in Smash Bros. 4, was there wasn't that big major single player mode. And I think a lot of people agree with me, because the cutscenes of Brawl were spoiled online and whatnot. Sakurai didn't want to include a story mode that can get spoiled before it came out in Smash 4, which realistically Sakurai, that is a stupid reason. Because it hurt it. Like, I think the gameplay aspect, the roster, the stages, and just everything else, Smash Bros. 4 I think is the best Smash Bros. Game, but in terms of single player content, it was severely lacking without an adventure mode or a Subspace Emissary. So the basic standard choice that everyone is pretty much going for is it's going to be a big cinematic story mode, or it's going to be something similar to adventure mode, where it's going to be like kind of level based stuff, but not really that cutscene storyline based. Or in my opinion, I see people mix it together, like make it more cinematic, and like some of the rumors kind of mention that too, because there's been numerous rumors for this game, and I don't know what to believe anymore, because this rumor, breaks that rumor, and every rumor kind of either agrees or disagrees with another one kind of thing. So it's like it makes or breaks stuff. So really, the rumors we shouldn't really be listening to until we see concrete evidence of game reveals, basically. But like the idea, I've seen one of the leaks, the rumors, basically it's going to be like adventure mode but subspace emissary type stuff. So it might be like a cinematic story but a short one for maybe for each individual character, like I basically mentioned a few minutes ago. That'd be cool. It'd be adventure mode, subspace emissary mode, or a mix of them. But I still think it's going to be a main single player mode, something that's going to be the meat and potatoes, the big main one that's going to give you hours of gameplay to play. I really think so. But because I think of it like this, we know bosses are going to be in the game. We know so far the Rathalos and Dracula, and I'm assuming some of the bosses probably from that were stage hazards in Smash 4 may very well be bosses. We'll probably see Metalface as a boss. We'll probably see one of the legendary Pokemon probably as a boss. We'll probably see the Yellow Devil maybe as a boss. Stage hazards will probably become bosses, and some of the bosses from Brawl might eventually, maybe they'll bring them back, like P. Piranha or Rayquaza and whatnot. But I want them to focus more on video game bosses, and that's really what kind of irked me about Brawl. There was a lot of original bosses in that, and it took away from it. I really like maybe one or two. Like Taboo was cool. He was the final, I'm the almighty god that's gonna destroy the world kind of thing. Like he's like this ultimate entity that you just wanted to, probably wanted to destroy the world and whatnot. And all the video game characters, Nintendo and Snake and Sonic, stood up and destroyed him, saving the world kind of thing. That's cool. And maybe one or two unique bosses out of that, but the bosses need to be mainly Nintendo bosses and mainly video game bosses from the third parties. So that's what I'm saying, because it's like we know there's gonna be a boss. There's gonna be bosses in the game. So the mode that we're that's there, it's likely gonna have some sort of bosses in it. It could very well be a boss rush mode, but I think that'd be a subset of that. Like, okay, if there's a big story mode, there'd be like 10 to 15 bosses in it. And then once you beat the story mode, you can go do a boss rush mode where you have to beat them all within the same amount of lives or something. That'd be kind of cool. They did do a boss rush mode in Brawl, so I want to see a boss rush mode continue, because boss rush modes are awesome and they're very challenging and fun to play. And if we're going to get bosses in this game, and we already know two of them, can we please have a boss rush mode? And it'll probably be like you click on that and you go into the story mode, and then, you want to play the main story, or you want to play boss rush or something. I don't know. So it's going to be single player. I can't guarantee what kind of single player it's going to be. If it's going to be a big adventure mode, cutscene, cinematic, story based, or just more like adventure mode like Melee, or like a hybrid of the two. But I think it's going to be some big mode where it's going to include the bosses, and hopefully a boss rush mode comes in, and it's going to be something that maybe allows you to play multiplayer, but you're not required to, because I think it's going to be the big single player mode of the game outside of classic mode. So that's basically what I think. And it's going to have bosses and stuff in it too. So that's the basic gist of this. I know that I didn't really answer the question specifically, but my main answer to this question, what is the mystery mode? It's going to be a big single player mode. That's my main answer to this. Whatever that is, I have no clue. But I'm hoping it's going to be a big cinematic story where these characters talk to each other. You bring these voice actors in. You give them lines to play as the characters win animations and taunts and stuff like that, and their attacks, but you don't pay them to actually have the characters interact with each other. We don't even know yet if the Snake Codec calls are coming back or the Palutena's light stuff's coming back. And we have all these cool characters for Palutena and Snake's Codec moments to talk about, like the Belmonts now, and the Inklings and Ridley, bringing back Roy, bringing back Pichu and Young Link and stuff like that. Any more future new characters we get. Like, that's something that at least allows their voice actors to do something. I'm hoping those come back too. But like, you bring these actors in to voice their lines, but you don't give them anything really major to do. So that's really why I think a story mode where you have like these characters interact with each other and talking, because most of them talk, and the ones that don't talk, you don't have to have Link talk, but you could have Zelda talk for the Zelda, the Legend of Zelda cast. Ganondorf could technically talk. The Fire Emblem cast, the Xenoblade cast, some Pokemon, and so on and so forth. So my main answer is what is the mystery mode? Is it's going to be a single player mode. I believe it's going to be a single player mode. I think almost everyone practically thinks it's going to be a single player mode. What that single player mode is, I have no idea. But my own personal opinion, I want another Subspace Emissary. I want our major story mode, but this time make it more cinematic and voice acting based, so we can see these characters interact. I would love to just see them do the villains interacting, like how Kingdom Hearts 1 had like Ursula and Jafar and Hades all interacting around their little lair, looking in there thinking, oh, there's Sora. We're looking at, like, just watch Metalface and Dracula Dr. Eggman, Bowser, Ganondorf, you know, some dragon from Fire Emblem, like maybe Medus, or what's her face, Eileen, whatever Roy's main dragon boss from Fire Emblem 6 is, you know, like watch all these characters interact with each other. Just to see them bicker with each other, argue with each other, you know, talk to each other. That's what I want so bad, because this is the big crossover event, and we should see these characters interact more than just have lines with each other kind of thing and be able to be a multiplayer game where you fight. I want to see a big cinematic story. That's my own personal opinion, but it's easily going to be a single player mode, so that's my answer to the question. Hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe if you want to. Put in the comments, what do you guys think this big mystery mode is? What do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be more single player based, multiplayer based? Do you think it's going to be a big story mode, or something smaller, something in the middle? Will it allow 2 players? Will it be something majorly involving the bosses, which it probably likely is? Put in the comments below. And I'll see you all in the next discussion, and when I start doing Smash Newcomers again. Bye.